So I moved from 250,000 Kenya shillings to maybe 30 Kenya shillings. 30,000,
30,000 Kenya shillings.
30,000, yes, not 30. 30,000 Kenya shillings. It's even shocking me. So I was like, wow, I've seemingly lost a job. Now I'm sick to a point that I needed to go for an operation. So I'm like, what is not happening in my life? Everything seems to be falling through the cracks. And at this point, I'm like, no, this cannot be it. So I'm calling, I'm like, you know what, today's my day of reporting, so let me go. So I went. So that's when the person I was in contact with, the HRBP, let me call them HRBP, comes. It's like, oh, Catherine, now you know, when you met our director, she didn't feel like you're a fit. I was like, what?
After they've sent you an email? Yeah.
I was like, what? It's like, yeah, so unfortunately we're withdrawing the offer. I was like, you're withdrawing the offer. I remember I pushed aside my laptop and I told the HRBP, now listen.
To someone who is looking to get into working remotely, be it in project management or ops, or there's someone out there who is, where you were a few months back, what would you tell them?
Unfortunately, the call came through. Hi.
Once again.
My heart didn't even sink. My heart left me.
It's not funny, Kathy. It's not funny.
My heart left me. Because I was like, not again. So I remember the MD was just there talking to me. I'm just looking at her. And then I'm looking at her through the computer. I can't hear what she's saying, but she's talking. And I'm just like, okay. It's like your last working day will be, I think, next week. Like, you've not even prepared me. And you see, now because I had really set myself, I had started in some investments and everything. Then now you're telling me you're yanking away my job. And this time around, I was very clear, I'm not working any other job, because with this job, you could not do any other full-time job during the day. Because it would be easy for you to get caught. But my weekend stint was still there. I listened to her. I told her, okay. I remember I cut the call. I went and sat outside my balcony, breathing like an elephant. I was like, no, what is this? I was crying. I'm like, not again. So I remember I called my usual, my dad. Like, Dad, it's happened again. Of course, my dad is like, don't worry, you got this. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm feeling. I called my mom. Like, Mom, it's happened now. My mom, I am wailing, literally wailing. My mom comes home to my house. She's like, don't worry, it's not about you. And again, they made it clear it's not about your performance. But because I felt, honestly, this one I felt like I was low-hanging fruit, because actually this one is from Africa. And then some others from UK were also affected. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, back to the drawing board. So I'm still working for them. Remember, they've told me my last full working day
is in a week from now.
So I was like, I'm going to work 9 hours. After 10, I will prolong all the hours, because the more you work,
the more you get paid. So you're working on overtime.
I worked on overtime.
Janja.
I used to work. Any project that comes, before I could even say that I am free, I'm like, I'll take it. I took so many projects at the same time so that I can extend my time, my hours. Right now, I'm not even thinking. I'm just working, because I'm like, I don't know when the next job is coming. A few days later, I remember I was like, what if I retract and tell them, you know what, I'm not going to accept a complete layoff. Let me give them a counter offer. So I remember I called, I asked the MD, can I speak to you? She was like, yes. Like, I told her, you know what, I understand the company is going through bad times, operating on losses. But instead of, cutting me off completely, why don't I work for you guys part-time? Like, when there's too much work, just call on me. I'll offer my services. Then she was like, interesting. We didn't think of that. But in my head, I'm like, how would you not think of that? Like, was your decision a knee-jerk reaction to you just woke up and like we are laying off people, or what was happening? She was like, Catherine, thank you for that offer. Actually, I'm gonna take it up. So the HR called me and told me, so we're gonna put an annex to your contract.
Okay.
So you'll not be working 40 hours a week, but your pay remains. You'll still work within the 8 hours, and you'll just...
Your hourly rate remains.
Yeah, my hourly rate remains. It's just that we cannot guarantee you 40 hours. I was like, it's fine, I can work with that. I just need to restructure my life. So I was like, okay. So I'd sit at my computer waiting for work
to come.
Niko tu hivi on my computer waiting. Just waiting for my name to be mentioned somewhere, and I'm like, yes, I'm ready. So that sustained me up until November. No. Yeah, December. Yes. So that is how I was operating. But at this time, remember, my lifestyle has changed because I was on 160 hours a month, down to maybe 20 hours a month.
So Miss Kathy, I don't know, I'm calling you Miss Kathy Kilasa. So Kathy, talk to me about this lifestyle that you were living, because you said you had a certain lifestyle. And I also want to understand, right? So you're moving from 160 hours to 20 hours. In terms of money, in terms of numbers, let us know what that is, if you're comfortable with it.
Sure. So averagely in a month, I would make 250,000 Kenya shillings. And
that's as your net?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, you're paid as an independent contractor, you're paid as per the hours you work. And of course, now you're expected to file your return, your taxes, take care of your medical, take care of everything. Yeah. So the money that I'd receive was not taxed from Germany, and it's not taxed in Kenya because the company is not locally registered. So it's upon me now to file my returns. So I moved from averagely 250,000 Kenya shillings to maybe 30 Kenya shillings. 30,000.
30,000 Kenya shillings.
30,000, yes, not 30. 30,000 Kenya shillings. It's even shocking me. So I was like, wow, that's a drastic change because, like I said, my lifestyle, I like a good life.
You like to travel.
I like to travel. Yes. I love traveling.
And you're a golfer.
Yes. And it has its own expenses.
Yeah.
And I tend to want to live a good life. Like I enjoy the experiences, good food, good places, good music, a good bar. You know, I like that. And I don't like the restriction of I can't get this because I don't have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during my tenure at Flexword, I enjoyed these things because I worked for it.
Exactly.
So I'd purchase a few things here and there that would make me happy. If I'm happy, I mean the entire world is happy because I will work. Everyone around me will be happy.
After you work so as to enjoy life.
Exactly. Why do we work so hard? Me, I work so hard so that I can enjoy my life. So this changed. And the reason why I took even the part-time is because now, unfortunately, I got sick. And remember, I do not have a medical cover. I'm paying out of pocket. So I did have a medical cover. It's just that I was chipping my part of it. Yeah. There's a group cover somewhere. But since it's paid individually, you pay to the principal and then the principal now pays to the medical insurer. So I was like, wow, I've seemingly lost a job. Now I'm sick to a point that I needed to go for an operation. So I'm like, what is not happening in my life? Everything seems to be falling through the cracks. And at this point, I'm like, no, this cannot be it. What was a bit different is that I had some savings that I had set aside for rainy days. So the rainy day had come, but it was still not enough because now I had to pause on my lifestyle, quote unquote, so that I'm able to, balance out my expenses to a point I'll get a full-time job. So I used to work for them. I used to camp on my computer waiting. But this time around now is when now I engaged your services full force. I was like, this lady called Lorraine, I have to now use her services. That's when I sent you my profile, my LinkedIn that you worked on beautifully. And I started getting interviews. I applied for jobs. I remember there's one job that you applied for me, and that to date I'm forever grateful, because out of that I got so many insights on so many things. So guys, please make use of her services. They work. They for work. Sure. They work.
And please, I don't apply for jobs for everyone. This is, I told you, special.
It wasn't for free. I paid.
Yes,
I paid for it. Okay. She didn't apply for me. She guided me through the application. Yeah, we make that clear.
Yes.
So I'm getting interviews. I'm applying for jobs, and now I'm applying to supplement the income that I have.
Yes.
I'm applying, going for interviews. Some you just look at them and you're like, no, this is not for it. Some companies will make you go through such a lengthy process, may tell you to make PowerPoint presentations, and they go quiet. So you also need to be very smart about the places that you apply for and the information that you give.
Yes.
The knowledge that someone has, you do not get it for free. And so do not give it out for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your knowledge.
Especially the PowerPoints. Like you jump through the hoops, and then, because they're coming up with recommendations and whatnot, and they're using that. They use
that. So I experienced that, and I was so dumbfounded to just get to know that I never succeeded. So I'm applying for jobs. I'm here taking care of my health. It's a big scare for me. I don't know what's happening. Just everything around me seems to be falling. And I'm just like, I can't be going through this over and over again.
Yeah.
So I decided, let me just work diligently with them. Then I'm going for interviews. There's some I reached to the very end. We are 2 candidates.
Yes.
But the other person is picked. That just...
messes up the whole vibe.
Completely, because, those ones you're deep in your heart, you feel this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. But it's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is which month now we're talking?
July.
How many months since you lost your job?
1.5 months.
1.5
yes.
months.
So I remember it was July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Yes.
Considering, right? You mentioned before that you had always gotten a job a month later.
So this is 1.5 months.
Nothing is coming through.
Nothing is coming through. And just when I thought something is coming through,
it doesn't.
So I remember July 3rd clearly in my head, because this is when I was due for surgery. It's the same day that I was told I didn't get this job, that I was so sure. These jobs, you sit and start building castles in the air. Like, if I get this money, I get my dream car. I go to where?
Go back to your lifestyle.
Go back to my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Then nothing. So I decided, let me take a chill pill. Then I just realized, I just thought to myself, everything is happening for a reason. Maybe I just need to slow down and have a fresh perspective over my life. Because maybe at some point I was neglecting my health. I was neglecting the people around me that were very close to me. I was neglecting God because, me, I'm a hard worker. Me, I go, kabsa.
Yeah.
So all things are just falling through the cracks. I am feeling bad. I'm like, what's happening? So, of course, I'm doing interviews, applying for jobs and all that. Nothing is coming through. So desperation kicked in. I was like, nope, it's month 3, 4, nothing. I was like, I'm going to go mad in this house of mine.
Yeah.
So
and I remember because I think we had several conversations, and it's a good thing that you mentioned God. Because at some point, I think I had the conversation with you, and it's like, you cannot look for something out of desperation. When you're looking for it, it never comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we did a few works. I shared, what I do, and manifestation. Yeah. Manifesting is literally working with God. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine, let me just let the universe do whatever it's gonna do with me. But now I was more intentional to other things in terms of taking care of my health, doing things that I love. So I went full force on golf.
Yes.
With what money God was providing. I'd go for games. I'd go for tournaments. I'd at least at this point I already had a group of golf buddies that really held me down during this time. And in as much as it's a tiring game, it gets your mind off a lot of things. So I get back home, I'm tired, I'll not think about my situation. Yeah. And also at this point, also just to say, my relationship was just in shambles. Like everything around me, other than my parents, everything else around me was just not working.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? Things are not coming through. Maybe my destiny is not in Kenya. this is when I decided to go to the States. I got my visa in January, but nikakalia. And my mom is like, you have a visa here and you're not using it. Can you just go and visit your aunt, see what is out there?
Yeah.
But before I went, I got an interview with where I'm working. And the interviews went through. Then at some point they kept quiet. So I'm not sure whether I have the job or not.
Yeah.
But I had already set my mind, let me go to the States. I see what's out there. Let's see what's in this green land. So I went. But I was, before I left, they told me I was offered the job and there's onboarding processes.
Yeah.
So when by the time they're sending me this, I already booked my flight. There's no way I was canceling my trip.
Yes. Lover, travel lover.
The way I was seeing myself in the air, I'm like, welcome to the that was, I was like, this will wait.
Yes.
So I remember I wrote an email to the HR. I told them, these are my documents. Some because I'm not police clearance, I'm not done in forever. You have to wait on that. But I am traveling on this and this dates. I'm not available on call. I'm only available on email. Radio silence. I'm like, okay. I wrote a follow-up.
Yes.
I was like, okay, you know what? I leave it to God. Mimi, let me go.
Wait, when you say they offered you a job, they sent you a contract?
No.
Or
they told me, congratulations, you've been, selected to join as, I'm working as an operations manager. You've been selected to join and everything. So to start the process, bring all these 10,000 documents.
Okay.
We need to do background check, referees. I was like, yeah.
Awesome. So I have to do a little housekeeping and I forgot. We should have started with this. If you're watching this and you like this video or you're enjoying our conversations with Miss Njau, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe to this channel, because that then helps us, kind of gauge whether you are enjoying this, conversations and whether you're finding value on this channel. So go ahead and do that. So technically they're saying to you,
like
a contract, like it's done.
But what wasn't clear was the start date.
Okay.
So, but I worked backwards. I was like, September, I can go September, October. I'm okay. So I went. Amuko, States, went. Yes. I'm like, what? This is States. Like the green on my head. I was like, wow. And seeing that welcome, I was like, wow, I'm here. So let's see what's here, because people say it's a land of opportunities.
Yeah.
And for sure, the opportunities are there. But only if you're there legally. Please don't mistake for anything else when you're there legally. So I went, visited my friends, family. Let me tell you, it's good to keep friends, because friends would come from far and wide to meet me where I am and return the hand of favor for what I did to them when they were here in Kenya. So I had a really good time. So in my having a good time, I started getting a bit unsettled. I'm like, why this guy's not calling me? What's happening?
Why are they not responding to the email?
Should I go back? Should I just extend my stay? Because I was given 6 months stay. I was like, should I just stay and see, just enjoy life? So I got an email. So they were like, we need to get on a call ASAP. I was like, hey, ASAP. So I told them, we're in almost 8 hours, 9 hours difference.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm happy to wake up at 4 a.m. and meet you. So that's the HR. So we meet. So the subject was offer negotiations and next steps. I was like, we still on. So we are heckling over the salary, benefits and everything. I was like, okay, fine. It's good. So I asked them, when's my start date? They tell me November. I'm like, cheers. I'll be back by then. So we're done. It's like, yeah, congratulations. Welcome on board. I'm like, woohoo. Ha, ha, ha. I'm in.
You're in the US.
I'm in the US.
And you have a job.
And I have a job.
To come back to.
So I was like,
with benefits.
With benefits. This time around with actual benefits that I had missed over the last 4 years. Medical, pension, all these nice things, that are not tangible, like this is money, So I was happy. So even my stay was even better. So I came back. I'm happy. I tell my host is like, we had been working something, but take a pause on that.
Yes.
Let me go back home. Your new job, how it is. Then we see. So I come back. I came back October 9th. Never forget. I landed like this. I've taken another flight to Mombasa. Holiday. I told you I like traveling. Clearly. Point, jet lag has nothing on you. I land like this at 1 a.m. 4 hours later, I'm back on a flight.
What?
Living the life. Now I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm like,
you have a job.
I have a job. Let me go celebrate. I was going with my girls. Hey, we celebrated. I was happy.
Yes.
Happy. It was even showing on my face because now I had 2 weeks to recover from jet lag. 2 weeks to go and figure out. By the way, no more wearing deras in the house. Wearing
official. Now you have to,
okay, not official, but smart casual. Because now I've moved from a remote job back to 8 to 5.
On-site.
And I was like, but part of me was happy because I had missed people. Like, you see the way we are here?
Yes.
I'm seeing people, we are laughing, I can hear them. I'm not seeing them through a screen.
Yes.
But I had really missed that because I'm a social bird. I like seeing people. I like walking with my bottle full of leaves to the dispenser and back. And the chit chat of people. Remote work is nice, but at some point it might make you forget about so many things. Like what's happening in the world.
True, because you live in your own bubble, right?
I take a break. I'm just on TV following my series. But there's people talking about, the Ukraine has done what. You miss that banter, which is actually good for growth. So I felt like, hey, I'm so behind on what's going on. So I was happy to be back to that. Anyway, so I come back. I'm happy. So on my way back from Mombasa, the HR sent me a text. It's like, are you back in the country? I'm like, yeah. It's like, by the way, there's someone who wants to meet you.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. Well, what's the agenda of the meeting? Nowadays, I ask if you're meeting, what's the agenda of the meeting?
From experience with the Germans and working remotely. Yes.
So they tell me they just want to get to know you better. I'm like, okay, no problem. What time? Monday. I'm like, what? Monday. Though I look shabby, but okay, I will go anyway. So I went, I met. It was a director. So we sat, and even during my interviews, I made them more of conversations. Like, it's not the asking, answering conversation. So even when I met the director, I have the job, so we're just conversing. I tell her, she's asked me, look a bit, I'm like, yeah, it just
landed.
Just landed. She'd ask where are you from and everything. So we had a casual conversation. She just asked me 1 or 2 questions. She was like, the person you're in touch with will get back to you. I'm like, okay. Radio silence. Call, email, text, nothing. Okay. I'm like, what's going on? Then there's this thing called the sixth sense. Something told me something is off. But I was like, I will not budge. So I went to work on November 4th because that was my official reporting date. I go.
Did you have that on paper?
No, it was
or on email.
No, it was not on email. It was from the conversation I had when negotiating for my salary.
Yeah, on the call.
Yes.
Okay.
They told me 4th of November is your start date. You can come sign your contract on the D-Day. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
So they go really silent. So I'm calling. I'm like, today is my day of reporting. So let me go. So I went. So that's when the person I was in contact with, the HRBP, let me call them HRBP, comes. It's like, oh, Catherine, now when you met our director, she didn't feel like you're a fit. I was like, what?
After they've sent you an email? Yeah.
I was like, what? It's like, yeah, so unfortunately we're withdrawing the offer. I was like, you're withdrawing the offer. I remember I pushed aside my laptop and I told the HRBP, now listen, I am not accepting. Because where was the director during all my interviews? She was not there. So why is she coming in after you've given me an offer? Isn't that illegal? According to the employment contract clause, ABCDFGH, it says ABCD. It says EFGH. So I told him, now let's do this. I remember the director walking in. I think she's going to her office. I told her, as a matter of fact, the director is in. Just go back and tell her I'm not accepting an offer and come back with my offer.
Yes.
Because I am not accepting.
The withdrawal.
Yes, I am not accepting. You cannot have removed me from the States.
I know. You could have extended your stay there.
Do you know how much money one uses to travel? It's a lot of money. So if I'm gonna do anything, you're gonna compensate me for that. So I told them,
because you made changes.
Exactly, I made changes. So I told them I'm not accepting. But I was sounding confident, but internally I wanted to scream and rip everything apart. But I was demure. It's called demure?
Yeah, yes. Demure.
sitting like a good girl and very vocal about, not vocal in a nice but firm manner. Went and came back. It was like, they've accepted. I'm like, what do you mean? So in my head, I'm like, what do you mean? So they've accepted. So they're like, yeah, so you can start next week. I was like, no. As a matter of fact, I will start in January. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Guts.
Even me, I was shocked. I was even shocked. So I told them, because of how things have been, I need time to think, because why would you do that to someone? You're a local firm, very big actually. And I mean, the reputation that you have out here is very good. So is this how you treat people on the inside? So at that point, I was even shocked at myself and how I addressed the issue, because I fought back. But now between November, December, when I'm now relaxing and waiting, it made me understand that sometimes you have to fight for what, for your things. You have to, because if that was happened to me, maybe say 6 years back, I'll be like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's
No one's
okay.
coming to defend you at the end of the day.
Exactly. You have to defend yourself. And I'm really grateful for the companies that I've worked with, especially internationally. They've made me question. I don't care whether you're a cleaner or a director or the president of the company. I will question the decisions that you make. And that gives you some level of respect. Because I mean, you know your worth, you know your things. In as much as I do not know the employment contract, savannah, I just the fact that I mentioned it, it made me look like this one knows her rights.
The same way you mentioned you knew cut. Was it cat?
Yes, cat tools. Yes, cat the same way. And yet, of course, I'll be like, I'll go and research. But even on the employment contract, I was like, no, this is not how things work. Yeah. So I got in. That's where I'm working now.
And I think you also like the employee experience that you get from international remote companies kind of let you know, they don't spoil you per se, but they let you know that there is a different world out there where employees are actually treated with so much respect. You're sure that you actually matter and you're valued. So when you come back locally and you're like, by the way, and coming back here again,
I'm so grateful to both the remote companies because they've helped me understand a person is valued. In as much as companies, are going through stuff and everything, your voice matters. Because if I think if I didn't approach my German managing director and give her a counter offer of what she was offering me in terms of the layoff, I'll not have stood for myself with the local company. But I was firm and I was like, this cannot happen. It gives you some level of confidence. There's also been growth. I will not lie. I have had to grow. Is it exciting to grow? Yes. Is it painful? Oh, yes, it is. Sometimes you have to go through so much for you to get to where you are. But again, the good thing is all the experiences I've had have led me to where I need to be today. Nothing I have done in my previous work has gone to waste. Everything that I've studied is helping me now. All the people I've interacted with are helping me now. Even outside work, like my golf buddies, my other life where I mentor young people, my previous bosses, and the networks that I create, they help you get to where you are. Oh, and reading. Internet is your best friend. But again, even the internet can lose you. You just need to be very focused on where you're, what you're reading.
I like that.
Oh.
So, now that you're currently working locally, any plans on going back to work remotely?
As at this point, I'm not yet sure. And the reason is the local company is taking my entire day. It's an 8 to 5 job working on site. So at this point, I just feel that it's one of the things is it's out of my comfort zone for sure. Yes, I'm in operations, something that
You've done.
I've done,
Uh-huh.
but in a different industry. Okay.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm leveraging that together with my PM experience, which are coming in handy. So I have an edge over a lot of the people
Yes.
around because there's a project department, then there's operation. So me, I'm in between, so I can lie either way. So I'm waiting to see where the next 5 months will take me, how they'll expand me.
Yes.
And see whether this is something I want to do for the long haul. But I'm hopeful that our interaction didn't start very well. So I'm still walking around eggshells.
Yeah.
But my eyes are on the goal to, increase my capacity, increase my knowledge. And if an opportunity comes through, whomst am I to refuse? Yeah. I love experiencing new things.
Yes.
But I know for a fact that after my probation period, I'll take some time off, maybe 2 weeks, go back
to where?
To the United States of America. Yeah, just to think through of whether those 6 months are worth my blood, sweat, and tears. Or now I just start venturing, but I go back to my remote work and all. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you're planning you're planning to travel.
Yes.
Very soon. To someone, what would you say to someone? And as we close, I always like to ask this question because I find like each and every guest comes with their own set of wisdom and experience, and that's why we do this. So my question to you, Miss Kathy, is to someone who is looking to get into working remotely, be it in project management or ops, or there's someone out there who is, where you were a few months back, what would you tell them?
Nothing lasts forever. The good and the bad, and especially the bad. How you manage yourself during the bad times is a real indicator of how your next life will be. Okay. And for someone who wants to work remotely, your skill set, it has to be very clear because if you're not very sure of where your goal is, the wind will blow you anywhere. So you look like someone who really doesn't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to be very knowledgeable about the industry that you want to go to. You need to have an attitude of learning. Very important. Yeah. Don't go with the attitude that you know it all.
Yeah.
Excuse me, darling, you don't know it all. So have the attitude of wanting to learn, wanting to grow, and being proactive. If you see a situation that could potentially be a risk to the company or the project, voice it. It's very important. Yeah. Then at the bottom of it all, enjoy. Enjoy working remotely. It's very interesting. It's something that extroverts, introverts can do. You just need to find your niche. But at the end of it all, hey, know your worth. Negotiate that rate. Is it if it's monthly or hourly? Negotiate for it. No, do your research on what people get paid. Yeah. And now match it up with what you already have. Yeah.
My one learning from our experience together, and this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Yeah. But what I've taken so far, and this is something that I always tell my clients, especially to the ones who are in the other moment in their lives where they're struggling, is that practice gratitude.
Oh yes.
Because from my POV, I saw how gratitude, practicing gratitude changed the trajectory of your job search.
Oh yes, it did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Many a times we forget the good things that have happened to us, and we amplify the negative.
The negative, yeah.
Completely. But thanks to you, I was able to, see this, in as much as they're small, they're not very small, but the attitude of gratitude really helped me. Yeah. And just being able to know what is in your control and what is not in your control.
Yes.
Man, that is his life. It does. Live life simply and easily. Oh, and something very important, have a mentor. Very important. Have someone to walk with you in this journey.
Yes.
Someone who's been ahead of you and someone also behind you. You have to learn something from all spheres of life. Yeah, very important. of importance. Yes.
Oh, I absolutely love this. So, question to you guys. Do let me know in the comment section, what is your one takeaway from this whole conversation? What if you want to give me 5 or 4, that's up to you. But what is your one learning that you have gotten from Miss Kathy's story? I know mine, and I'm gonna leave it in the comment section. But yeah, once again, if you're watching this and you've enjoyed this segment, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, yeah, and share this video with people, because we learn through other people's stories, and this can be that one video that someone else is looking for just to get their life together. And I'm so thankful that you came on board.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for believing in me
Okay.
and deciding to go with our services. Thank you for being vulnerable and honest with me.
I hope the story encourages someone out there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. Do your best and let God do the rest.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a wrap. Thank you. Where?